to Diversity Matters. This program is designed to highlight the diversity-related activities throughout New Hanover County Schools and the greater Wilmington region. I'm Valita Quattlebaum, Chief Communications Officer for New Hanover County Schools. This month, we're highlighting two long-standing community organizations, but they have new leadership. And today, we're delighted to welcome representatives from the YWCA of the Lower Cape Fear and the United Way of the Cape Fear area. These new leaders are fresh faces to the southeastern region of North Carolina. They have new perspectives, visions, and ideas on how their organizations can have a greater impact on our community. This is going to be a very informative edition of Diversity Matters, and I can't wait to hear from them and all the exciting things our guests have to say. So don't go away. We'll be right back after this short break.
Start your day with New Hanover County Schools, The Morning Show. This Rise and Shine program will put a smile on your face and a spring in your step. Best of all, you'll start the day a little smarter. The Morning Show features an exciting 6-hour mix of exclusive features, cooking, entertainment, news, science, math, and more. New Hanover County Schools, The Morning Show, educating all viewers to achieve today and tomorrow in a global community. Only on this channel.
Welcome back to Diversity Matters. I'm your host, Valita Quattlebaum, Chief Communications Officer for New Hanover County Schools. This month, we're highlighting new community leaders, specifically with the YWCA and the United Way of the Cape Fear. First up is Ms. Sharice Hart, Executive Director of the YWCA. Ms. Hart, welcome to the show, and thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me this morning.
Yes, we're excited to have a new community leader here. So I know my viewers are going to want to know, who is this lady? Where are you from? Tell us all about yourself.
So yes, so I am the new Executive Director at the YWCA Lower Cape Fear, and I've been in my role for 4 months now.
4 months?
Yes,
okay.
Just 4 months.
All right, and what's your background?
Yes, so I have been in the nonprofit sector for about 11, 12 years now. I started out at the YWCA in Greensboro, North Carolina, as a volunteer, and that led to an internship. And after I had one more semester of college to finish, I came back to Greensboro and worked at the YWCA, starting with teen parents. And I worked with teen parents to make sure that they graduated from high school and that they were on the road to success. And after doing that for a few years, I decided to obtain a Master's of Social Work, which the YWCA highly encouraged me to pursue. So I moved away to Chapel Hill, finished my master's degree, and decided to stay in the Triangle area, where I worked for a few other nonprofits before YWCA called me back again to come to Greensboro. And I worked for the YWCA Greensboro as the Chief Operating Officer, and they encouraged me again to go back to school, so I obtained an MBA from Wake Forest, and shortly after finishing my degree, I heard about a position here, and again, I feel so passionately about the YWCA, and I thought this would be a good opportunity, so I picked up everything and moved to Wilmington.
Wow, how lucky for us. So you are so qualified. Your educational resume is very, very impressive. What do you think of our fair city so far?
I think it's a great place. Everyone has been so friendly, everyone has been kind, and I think there's so much opportunity here, and I'm just thrilled and happy to be a part of the YWCA, and excited that the YWCA has such a big role in this city.
Right. Now, and I want to talk about that because this is a great city, but like all cities, we have our issues, and certainly the social climate here, women's issues. What do you see happening here? And tell me what you think you might be able to do to help impact some of that.
Well, like you said, to your point, this is a great city, and every city does have things that they need to improve upon. What I see here in Wilmington are disparities, just like anywhere else. And what I want to do is empower women and to close the gaps between those disparities. So one way that the YWCA is doing that is through our New Choices program, where we empower women to further their education and go back to school, and addressing the underemployed and unemployed situations that many women face. We also started a new program called Coastal Women's Ventures, where we're empowering women, minorities, and veterans to launch their own small businesses through microloans.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So tell me a little bit more about choices. How would a woman, if a woman say she's a single parent and she may just have a GED, how would you be able to help her?
Yes, so once someone is identified as a qualified candidate for the program, they are linked with a case manager, and that case manager assesses their entire situation as far as where they work, their educational status, how many children they have, and we take a look at that. And if someone's making minimum wage, we know that they're not going to be able to survive off of that. And so we develop a goal plan. And once that goal plan has been developed, we talk about the educational tools they need to be successful. And one of the main things we do is provide tuition assistance for these women to go to Cape Fear Community College. So we have a wide variety of women taking up a variety of occupations, including going to beauty school, becoming a CNA, or pursuing their associate's degree.
Excellent. So they can move into a higher income bracket.
Absolutely.
And that service is free of charge.
It is absolutely free.
Excellent, excellent. That's the Choices program. Now you mentioned a second program that involves helping businesses. Tell me about that.
Yes, so this is our latest program, and it's called Coastal Women's Ventures, and we have decided to partner with the Carolina Small Business Development Fund, which is based out of Raleigh, to launch the Southeastern region's micro enterprise program for women. This program is going to work with women by providing mentoring, one-on-one coaching, business education, and we're going to work with people to make sure that they have a successful business plan and that they have the tools that they need to be able to get a microloan so that they can start their own business. Again, one of the things we see here is that there's a wide gap between the affordable housing and how people can really make it in this community. A lot of people are coming down here from different areas across the country, and that it's very expensive to live here. So one of the ways that people can make it is by starting their own business, and that's the key to being successful. So we want to empower women to do that, especially minorities.
And that is free of charge too?
It is absolutely free of charge.
And so all you need to do is be a resident of New Hanover County?
And actually, yes, New Hanover County and the surrounding counties are eligible for this service.
Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. And I'm excited because community relations is part of what I do here, and we work with Tufana Thomas, and so we want to partner with you. We already partner with you, but I want to talk about what can we do to partner more, and how can we elevate our partnership to the next level?
Absolutely.
To help our families.
Absolutely. So the YWCA partners with New Hanover County Schools in a variety of ways. One, we provide after-school services to 19 schools, 2 middle schools, 17 elementary schools.
Wow, 19 of our schools.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you'll probably see our buses and our vans all around town picking up children. We also make sure that the children have a safe place during the summertime for summer camp. And we also have an aquatics program, which 2 high schools actually use our pool to practice for their swim meets.
Is that Ashley?
Ashley and Hogger.
Hogger.
Yes.
Ashley and Hogger. Okay. So you are in our schools, you're a part of our schools?
Absolutely.
Okay. Great.
The other way that we can partner with the school system is by providing internships. Again, our mission at the YWCA is eliminating racism and empowering women, and we want students to really be well versed in the current issues that are impacting our society today. So there are a variety of programs like the Stand Against Racism and our Potluck for Peace, where young students and young leaders can easily get involved with us.
Okay, now let's talk about the internships. What type of internship opportunities are available for our students?
Yes, so there's a variety of things that students here in New Hanover County can get involved with. One, they can help us out by working at our front desk. It teaches you how to greet people, be comfortable in interacting with the public. You can also help us plan our major programs like the Stand Up Against Racism and encourage your fellow students to get involved and taking action with that as well.
So that's administrative assistant skills, public relations, and marketing.
Absolutely.
Oh, awesome. All those are right up my alley.
Great.
So what are your goals for the YWCA as a whole?
Yes, so everyone across town knows us for our child care, preschool, after-school programs, and our aquatics program, or the place that has the bubble over the pool.
Right.
But I want people to know that we are so much more than that and really get back to the roots of our mission, which is eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. So we have such good community impact programs, which include our grandparent support network, where we provide support to grandparents who have now they are the sole providers for their grandchildren.
Right. Many of our grandparents are raising our students.
Exactly, and we also want a safe place for the students who are being raised by their grandparents. That's a traumatic experience for them. And we also, again, we have the Coastal Women's Ventures, we have New Choices, and we also are involved with the schools in What's Wrong with Different, where it's a curriculum where we talk about how it's okay to be different regardless of what your skin color is, and talk about how diversity is so important.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because you know, I feel, and I know it's prevalent, a lot of people feel like there's an elevation of hostility and negativity and even outright hatred that's happening, and that somehow it's okay now to be abusive to each other, to be verbally harsh and saying things that I think years ago people never would have said. And I for one, you know, am totally against that kind of behavior. But what can we do as a society to try to put that away?
I think that's a great point, and I think it starts with school.
Right.
I think it starts with younger generations, and if we can talk about differences when they're young, it becomes normal and it's okay.
Right.
And so we as a community can come together, and our goal is to hopefully offer this program across more schools in New Hanover County.
So it becomes part of our norm. Absolutely. I remember talking to Dr. Smith, who's our assistant superintendent for instruction, and she told me, I had a similar conversation, and she said, well, Ms. Quattlebaum, we don't raise them like that here. That's not part of the school culture. And so I think by partnering with you, we can make that even more, and more of a point about that.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be happy to do that.
Well, good. We're happy to work with you. Are you planning any other new programming ventures or events?
You know, again, the YWCA, we really like to adapt to meet the needs of the community. So what I'll say to that is, we'll see. I'm sure that we'll have something new coming along. It just depends on what's happening in society, what the community tells us we need to do, and we love to hear from people like you and other community stakeholders so that we can determine what the YWCA needs to be doing in order to have a true impact on that.
That's smart. So you'll really be on the pulse of what we need.
Exactly.
Excellent. Wow, I'm so glad you're here. It's such a thrill. So it sounds like the YWCA, of course, has this dynamic new leader, and I know that she is going to be a positive influence to the organization and to our community and to the school district. And next we will hear from the United Way's new president and CEO. Stay tuned for this exciting edition of Diversity Matters.
Start your day with New Hanover County Schools, The Morning Show. This Rise and Shine program will put a smile on your face and a spring in your step. Best of all, you'll start the day a little smarter. The Morning Show features an exciting 6-hour mix of exclusive features, cooking, entertainment, news, science, math, and more. New Hanover County Schools, The Morning Show, educating all viewers to achieve today and tomorrow in a global community. Only on this channel.
Welcome back to Diversity Matters. And today we have Mr. Craig Himes, CEO and President of the United Way of the Cape Fear. here to discuss his vision and upcoming events. So Craig, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And can you tell us a little bit, who is this new CEO of United Way? Where are you from? What are you bringing to us?
Well, I started in United Way in the 70s, and I worked in Syracuse and Ohio and Michigan and Silicon Valley and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Charlotte, Syracuse again as the CEO in Philadelphia. So this is the 9th United Way I've worked with.
Wow, so you're a seasoned United Way person.
I fell in love with it years and years ago, this idea that a community comes together on behalf of others, works together in a united way, little u, little w, in ways that are not just compassionate and kind, but also smart, intelligent things that we can do in the community to make people's lives better.
Right. And you and I were talking on the break, and I was telling you I was a board member until recently, and I want to know, where are we as a United Way, and where do you want to grow us to?
We're a strong United Way in our community impact, our evaluation of agencies, the accountability for the money, so we have a number of volunteers working in that area. Financially, we're strong, but in terms of revenue generation as a community funder, a centralized funder, we've got a long, long way to go. So I was brought in as someone who understands organizational advancement. And that's getting out in the community in a way that we probably haven't the last 10 years or longer. We're a $2 million United Way that should be a $7 to $10 million United Way.
Wow, so you want to triple.
Well, and we'll do it not by getting better at asking people for money.
Right.
We'll raise that money by communications and getting out in the community to say, here's our community. Here are the issues of our community. If you choose to give to the community through United Way, you don't give to United Way. You give to the community through United Way to organizations like the YWCA.
Right.
And when you do it through United Way, it's a very low-cost way of generating money in the community. So we're going to get better at telling the story and stating the case of, here's what's going on in the community, here's how you can help in smart ways.
Right. Now let me ask you this. We run the United Way campaign in the school district. And we always run into this, there's some, I mean, we have very generous people, of course. Our kids are so generous, our teachers, but then we have this resistance, this, and I'm sure it's not just the district, it's everywhere. People want to know, well, where is that money going? Is the administration cost too high? You know, there's always, every year we run into that. Tell me about that.
Well,
because I want people to give.
The American Red Cross is set up with chapters that are part of a national organization, and with a disaster assistance, that's the best way to organize each of these communities. United Way is different. United Way is in thousands of communities, but each United Way is owned and operated by its own community. So you were on the board of this United Way, and I report to the local board of directors. They're the ones who make the decisions. Now, what's also true is that each of these communities around the country are trying to figure out the same puzzle.
Right.
How are we going to make a future that's better for our children than we have? And that puzzle that we're trying to figure out involves many different not-for-profit organizations that are trying to help people. And it's important to have a trade association, United Way International, which can bring these communities together to say, here's a really good idea that was done in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's called Hometown Hires. And what that does is connect people that are qualified for jobs with organizations in the community that need those people working there, and it's a connector that brings the two together. So when Ben David and others were able to make that presentation on a national level, other communities said, oh, I want to do that also.
Right. So that's proof right there that the difference we're making here in Wilmington through United Way.
And we're owned and operated by this community, so if they're concerned about overhead of some other place in the country, it just isn't true.
Right.
Now, it's also true that through this United Way, we make the decisions of how we're going to organize it, but we use the same process that every other community uses. A centralized funder in the workplace that allows people to give a couple of dollars through their paycheck. In the school system here, we have almost 1,000 contributors,
Yay.
So
I'm
you're
psyched
right,
about
there's
that.
very generous people, but some of them still think that we're part of a national organization where people get high salaries,
Right.
and that isn't true. I'm the local CEO.
Right.
And I'm not making nearly what I was making in Philadelphia United Way, where we were a $54 million organization. But
Right.
the
I know your staff is very small. I know that.
But the process itself of once a year a community coming together so that we're able to raise money at a low cost in the workplace just makes an awful lot of sense.
Right. Now, what about the way people can designate their giving? Before, there were some issues about whether or not everything had to go into the Community Impact Fund because people are passionate about their organizations, like I love Nourish North Carolina or the YWCA, and I want to give to that. Tell me about that.
Well, we've made a big change this year, and I want to begin by saying we still believe in the Community Impact Fund because that's something where volunteers like you and others get involved in this allocation of money to make sure it's going to the best organizations in the community. And we don't fund agencies, we fund programs of agencies. So it's the grandparent program at the YWCA.
Right.
So the accountability for the dollars there, and there's value to that. But what we're going to do now is to marry and balance mission with marketing. The mission is, let's do what really needs to be done in our community. The marketing is, it's your money. What do you want to do with that? So if a nurse was in your home from hospice and they really took care of you, or there's a wonderful school for disadvantaged kids that are really making a difference in their life, give to it.
Right.
But we want to bring that together as a whole community of giving where you can do what you want with your money and it still makes a difference in the community.
If I want to, can I split it? Can I give half to Community Impact and half to
Ooh, absolutely.
the organization I love?
Now, for example, you can give to any 501c3 health and human service agency in the country. That's different because it's your money. So I'm coming from Syracuse, New York, where I used to be the CEO. I worked with Interfaith Works, I was on the board there. I worked with a school in Philadelphia that works with kids from multiple foster homes. So I'm giving a lot of my money to Community Impact here, but I still have connections to Philadelphia and Central New York where I want United Way to be my charitable investment broker.
Right.
So I'm giving a lot of money through United Way to organizations I care about, and over time that money will transfer back here as I start connecting more with the local community.
Right. Well, that's exciting. You have a new vision and a new leadership, and I think it's going to make a difference. And I'm excited about being able to work with you.
Oh, we're going to do some great things for this community.
I know we are. So this is an awesome opportunity for our audience to hear from two local organizations that have done so much in our community, but the twist is we have these two dynamic new leaders, and that's what I'm excited about. So next we'll talk to both of them and find out how you can get involved in these organizations, how you can give, and all the information you need. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Start your day with New Hanover County Schools, the morning show. This Rise and Shine program will put a smile on your face and a spring in your step. Best of all, you'll start the day a little smarter. The morning show features an exciting 6-hour mix of exclusive features, cooking, entertainment, news, science, math, and more. New Hanover County Schools, the morning show, educating all viewers to achieve today and tomorrow in a global community. Only on this channel.
Welcome back to Diversity Matters, and we're bringing back Sharice Hart and Craig Heim for just a few more minutes, and I just really want to talk about how you two plan to partner and what new you can bring to the community.
So right now the YWCA partners with the United Way in a variety of ways. Right now they are a very big supporter of the Grandparent Support Network and ensuring that we're able to provide that service with the community, and also partnering with the campaign that the United Way is planning for this fall.
Okay, and Craig, you want to do more with that?
Oh my. We can talk about what we're doing today, but I'd rather talk about how we're going to work together in this community. Number one, single parents need a safe place where they can drop their kids off during the day so they can go to work. I see that as such an incredible, not just an incredible need, but a very intelligent investment in this community that the YWCA is doing, and I want to play a much larger role in that. When we were talking off the air, when I was in Syracuse, it's about the same size as our four-county area. We raised $10 million, and here we're raising $2 million. So if you look at the allocation in Central New York to the YWCA, it was $170,000. We need to be doing much more for these agencies. So Sharice and I are going to be working together, not just to ask people for money, but to go out to the community and say, here's what's going on in our community. Here's the services that need to be provided. Here's what we're doing. And most of all, here's what we can do.
Yeah, that's so important. That's so important. What else would you like to do with the YWCA and United Way?
It's our goal to make sure that the community is aware of how our programs closely align with the United Way's greater mission as far as our financial empowerment programs, education, and health. And so we really want to improve and strengthen our partnership with the United Way so that everyone feels like they can have a place at the YWCA.
Okay, and how do we do this? I mean, you talked about getting out. Is it social media? I just feel like every year when we're doing it, we're starting all over. People are like, what are you talking about?
We're not going to stop. This is not going to be a campaign that ends. We're going to be out in the community speaking wherever a group of people will get together. We're going to be there. And we're going to be there to say, not talk about United Way, talk about our region. Here's what's going on in our region.
Right.
It's wonderful in so many ways, and so many kids are making it. But if I were to choose one thing that I could say, here's what United Way is going to do in the future, we're going to embrace all of the children in the Cape Fear, I mean all of them. And we're going to raise kids with character, a good sense of themselves, who can succeed in school. If we do that one thing,
that's right.
That one thing, and it's going to require a number of organizations like the YWCA that are going to be bringing these kids in after school. Kids don't fail in school. They fail in school by what happens when they're not in school.
That's right.
And when we understand that as a community and we start embracing these children, their grades, graduation rates, SAT scores, as if they were our children, and provide the services like the YWCA is already doing on a much larger scale, we're going to have more kids succeeding and fewer dollars needing to go to some of the things that we're funding that aren't so good.
That's right. That's it. Well, I am so excited. I thank you both for being here and for your vision and your missions. New Hanover County Schools values our partnership with community groups such as the YWCA and United Way, and we look forward to working with them to strengthen our partnerships for our students. And viewers, thank you so much for joining for this very important episode of Diversity Matters. Feel free to call the Public Relations Department at 254-4245 if you have questions or a story idea for a future edition of Diversity Matters. And I'll see you again next month right here for an all-new edition of Diversity Matters. Thanks for watching.